All right, what's going on, guys? We are back with the most recent pickups from the Taking High Ground Discord. Once again, doing it in the live stream format, and yeah, pretty much might as well just get right into it. And I know I said this week's, but it has been a little bit since I've done it. It's been, I think Friday was the last day I did it, and it is Monday, so you know, got a lot of pickups to talk about though, a lot of good ones. So let's get right into it. And the very first set of pickups, we have Goopy slash Chase cards with some amazing Series 2 cards. First up, he has a Ruby PSA 10 and an 8 ball PSA 10. This 8 ball, I remember there was a point in time where like an 8 ball PSA 10 was very low pop. It's definitely still very low pop, but I know there's a point in time where it might have been pop one. And there's people, Daniel Gonzalez, what's up, bro? How's it going? Good to see you made it. Where 8 ball, there's people like, saying they'd pay a couple grand for an 8 ball PSA 10. Also, just saying people pay a couple grand for an 8 ball. That's a crazy sentence, but we're talking about Fortnite cards here. And then Ruby, we know one of the most significant skins in Chapter 2, very high usage. And, a lot of people, a lot of sweats. Like, she's a sweaty skin, but not as much as you'd think she is, kind of, if you get what I'm saying. She's not the most sweaty, but she's definitely, used by a lot of good players. Yeah, 8 ball, like I talked about in the last stream, is part of that whole Chapter 2 Season 1 storyline. Rentheim, how's it going? Good to see you stopping by. But 8 ball is part of the Alter and Ego Chapter 2 Season 1 storyline. Like I said, I would love to see somebody finally complete like a Series 2 set of all the different Alter and Egos. That'd be awesome. And then, yeah, Ruby. Both these cards are super hard to get in PSA 10s. Definitely very low pop. Definitely the upper echelon of Series 2 cards. And, Goopy slash Chase cards is always bringing the heat every week. And Chase cards fits him well because he's got the cards that people would want to chase because he's got high end stuff. Let's see what's next. Alpha Pitbull, some sealed gold frame. The gold frame stickers are awesome. We saw this last time I did a live stream. We talked about just all the different. I believe it was Dutch School it was JL, I believe, who had all the cool gold frame stickers like the Sky and Meowscles Ghost and Shadow variants, the dual card. And so Gold Frame is an awesome set, super underrated. How much is a Brazil Royal Knight PSA 9 Pop 1 worth? Definitely, I mean, that's definitely a very good card. I don't know about an exact figure on that. It's Pop 1, so it's technically a 101, so I don't know the exact number, but you could probably say whatever a PSA 8 is, maybe do 1.5 times that, whatever a PSA 8's going for. We got Dylan taking high ground with a nice little Manic pickup. I love to see Dylan still picking up cards. He's kind of moved on to some other things, which is cool. He's moved on to some really cool things. Added a different things to the Discord, different non-sport trading cards, which is really cool. But good to see him still showing Fortnite some love. And Manic cracked ice. If you guys remember back to the Fortnite trading card draft way back, which is crazy. That's 2.5 years old now. But yeah, I picked Manic in the Fortnite trading card draft. So I've always been a big fan of Manic, Cypher PK skin, and just a whole bunch of really good players in Chapter 2 wore Manic. And it's just a great looking card. The Oni mask with the red, the black, it just all looks great. Her tattoos, everything. There's a great aesthetic on that card. So Manic is an awesome one. Let's see, what do we got next? Okay, Pruman with a Triceratops Crystal Shard PSA 9 USA print Crystal Shard. Triceratops is a very good. She's a very good card for like a collector. She's not a good card because of in-game usage or anything, or in-game anything. She's a good card, a very good card, because people are going to want to pair her up with a Rex card, whether it's a base, a hollow, or crystal shard. People are going to want to complete that duo. So for card collectors, I think she's a very good card. Not for the aspect from anything in-game wise, but for card collecting, she's a very good card. Just because of the fact that you can complete the duo with Rex and Triceratops, both legendaries, both in Series 1, both really good looking cards. And the red and the green together look very good. So Triceratops is a fantastic card. The card Baron Fortnite Series 1 is completely unknown to most of the TCG communities. These will boom when that happens. 100% the card Baron. I love that you brought that up. These Fortnite cards are beautiful. Like, talking about Series 1. Like, look at this example right now. That is a gorgeous card. The blue with the Leviathan, they look good. They look even better in person. And I love that you bring that up, that when the rest of the TCG community finally realizes how great and beautiful these Fortnite cards are, they will explode. And also, they're very rare, so it's going to be a big scarcity factor, too. Only a select few will be able to get amazing cards like this Leviathan Crystal Shard PSA 10 I'm looking at. So the card Baron, you are 100% correct on that. And also, once again, we're looking at Goopy / Chase cards with this Leviathan Crystal Shard PSA 10, which I just talked about how great it was. How much would I pay on the Brazil Royal Knight PSA 9 Pop 1? Like you said, it's Pop 1, so there isn't any comps. What I'd pay? I'm not personally a Royal Knight fan, so the number I'd personally pay would be lower than a Royal Knight fan. But, Royal Knight fan, I can see somebody paying, 80 to $100 for sure. Definitely 80 to $100, probably more actually. Probably more like definitely 100. I feel like that's definitely $100 card. For sure, definitely $100 card. If it's Pop 1, definitely $100 card. We had Goopy / Chase cards with Leviathan. Really OG skin from Chapter 1. Really recognizable skin from OG Fortnite. Really iconic. People love Leviathan. And just a great looking card that I could talk about. The blue on blue. I believe he was released in Chapter 1, Season 3, if I'm not mistaken. So one of the earlier legendary 2,000 V-Bucks skins. So if you bought the skin back in the day, you were pretty much a big fan of Leviathan because, it was $20 back then. But Leviathan is a really cool crystal shard, and I'd love to see Goopy picking up some more heat. And he also has some more Series 2 love. Jungle Scout, Cracked Ice, PSA 9. Jungle Scout's a really cool card. It's Ramirez. Let's see the card bearer. Low print, pull rates were shot. Not to mention Epic Games is the Pokemon company of this gen. I'm holding sealed S1 for a long hold. Italy is an easy pickup. Yeah, I mean, I don't do this for investment purposes, but, holding Series 1 sealed product, I definitely think there's a potential for long-term growth dollar-wise, not investment advice. So I think you're right there for that. And you talk about the low print for sure. These cards are super scarce. Legendary and epic base cards are rare. I mean, base cards, like I said, they're rare. Yeah, and then like Epic Games, like you said, is like the Pokemon company of this generation. Fortnite is kind of like my generation, a little bit younger, because I'm 19. My generation and younger is Pokemon is what Fortnite is. So you're completely right there. But yeah, the card baron. You're right. I love to see what you're saying. You're getting some great takes. But what I was gonna say about Jungle Scout is she is a Ramirez skin. PSA 9 Cracked Ice. Like I said, Ramirez from Save the World. If you played Save the World back in the day, you know how Daniel, thanks for the live. Hey, thank you all for stopping by. Rentime, you, Card Baron, thank you all for watching right now. I actually got 7 viewers, which is pretty sick. So thank you all for watching. But yeah, Jungle Scout, she's Ramirez, and there is no Ramirez Truce card. So any of these, variations of her, because people are going to want, if people played Save the World, they're going to want to collect Ramirez because she was like the main character of Save the World Fortnite. So, they're going to have to resort to something like Jungle Scout or any of the other Ramirez skins in the sets. So, yeah. What happened to all the card content? You asked Rentime. I know Western doesn't post on YouTube anymore. THG's taking a little hiatus. I know Rob gave it up, but he gave it up for some good personal reasons. I don't know if he's publicly disclosed those at all, but he gave it up for some good personal reasons. So, all respect to Rob. I love him. He sent me that Omega. So shout out to Rob. But yeah, he gave it up for some very good personal reasons. And yeah, Dylan, he's doing other trading card stuff right now. And I mean, they did weekly lives for like 3 years in a row. So it's understandable that they would need to take a little break. I'm taking high ground I'm talking about. So yeah. I still like doing it. I'm still going to continue to drop some content for you guys. But yeah, and then Fortnite Trading Card Hub. I remember he used to drop some really nice content. He doesn't do it anymore. And then Eduardo had a really nice channel. Seems like he's moved away from cards, though. He seems to have sold off a lot of his cards, unfortunately. But yeah, it's the way it is. Still making content for you guys, though. Let's see. Yeah. Matthew Fair with an Optichrome Hollow PSA 10 Ripley. That's awesome. You guys know I'm a huge Ripley fan. I had in my Ripley Cracked Ice in my top 10 favorite cards of my entire collection, including sports and Fortnite. So you guys know I'm a huge Ripley fan for personal reasons. And honestly, I think he has big potential to grow. Like I just talked about 8-Ball. I'm talking about this so much. The Alter and the Ego storyline from Chapter 2 Season 1, I think there's still room to grow for that. I would not be surprised if Fortnite / Epic revisits that. Even though Donald Mustard is gone, I feel like there's still something there for Charlie Wen to pick up. and build off of if he, felt so inclined to. I feel like there's room to grow for that. Hopefully they come back and revisit that. I think it'd be really cool because it does still all tie into Midas as well. So if they do more with Midas, I definitely see that the alter ego storyline could get more attention, which is Ripley, Sludge, 8-Ball, Scratch, Journey, Hazard, Turk, Riptide, Toxin, Remedy, all those. So, and Ripley's definitely one of the best at that. Also, his card in person, you see it here, it looks great. It does. But when you get his card in person, his card is gorgeous. The blue on the blue, there's like a little contrast between the blue of him and the blue of the card. The Ripley card in person, you can't even describe it. At least the cracked ice from the one that I got it, because I'd never held the Ripley card in hand before until I got his cracked ice, and the blue just hit. So Ripley's a gorgeous card. So Matthew Fair, that's an awesome pickup. And any Optichrome in a 10 is not easy to get. All right, let's see what we're working with. Oh, Panini Fortnite 2019. Let's see, he's got, okay, a Midas cracked ice, PSA 9, and did you say what that focus is? Focus Optichrome misprint on the back right. Well, oh yeah, see, it's got the pink. I wonder what card that is. Let's see. Yeah, so, Runtime, you're gonna start content. You're 15, by the way. Yeah, go for it, bro. I believe I was 17 when I uploaded my first Fortnite trading card video on YouTube. Yeah, yeah, I was 17 when I first uploaded. I know I look really young. It's bad. I did not look 17. It's crazy. I looked like I was like 12. But yeah, go for it, bro. Let's see what the card bearer said. Brazil is the least popular. The Prince, we're less popular though. Personally, with prices at the moment, I wouldn't pay more than 150 USD. Yeah, he said no more than 150 USD. I said on the very low end 80. I said it's definitely a $100 card later. I kind of backtracked on what I said. I said it's probably 100. It's probably 120 actually. It's a very good card runtime. And card bearer, you're definitely accurate with your assessment of that card for sure. We have Panini Fortnite 2019 with the misprinted focus. It'll be interesting to see if people go after the misprints and the miscuts like that. You know how it's got that little sliver of pink? It definitely makes it more unique, but you also have to wonder, does it take away from the actual card? This one on the back really doesn't, if it doesn't show on the front, it doesn't take away from the card at all. But if you're going after something like that, you almost want it to take away from the card on the front. Like you'd want the little sliver of pink to be on the front, not only just the back. So because he posted just the back, I'm assuming it's not on the front. But yeah, I just wonder the future demand for miscut cards like that. I definitely think there's room to grow for those. I definitely think there's potential for people to want those. I just wonder how vast the demand will be for that. And then Ice King, we know, one of the greatest Fortnite cards of all time, one of the best of Series 2. He was in the top 25, the community top 25 list I did. And, people love Ice King. Chapter 1, Season 7 is one of the most loved seasons of all time. Get some. Runtime, you paid 33 for that card? That's awesome. And yeah, like the card baron said, don't sell, hold that card. If you paid $33 for that, hold it. That card only has room to grow, not investment advice. Cracked Ice, Ice King, one of the upper echelon cards of Series 2. Other than Aura, you really can't. I mean, he's probably number 2 in my personal opinion, maybe even number 1. He could make a push for number 1 in Series 2 over time, but who knows? But Panini Fortnite 2019, you're one of the OGs. I love to see you still putting in work out there, getting good deals in this market. Let's see. We got Rice 4257 Andrew with a Midas laser. Unfortunately, it is off-centered, so that does suck to see. But you can't beat Midas. Personally, a top 10 Fortnite trading card of all time, in my opinion. Midas Chapter 2 Season 2, one of the most loved seasons of all time. And we know that Midas is going to continue to be featured in the storyline. Like he was just a secret skin in one of the not the Star Wars season, but the season before that, it's Battle Pass. So Chapter 6, Season 2, he was the secret skin. And, Midas, his card looks great. The gold with the accents on the gold card. And, a lot of times people say the llama on the front takes away from it. But I think it really fits Midas's card. I don't know, with the way his hand is like pointing to it. It's like the dark orange, kind of like goldish. It's not gold, but, that's the gold rarity in Fortnite technically. I don't know. Just there's those things that I think about. But I think Midas's Series 3 card is a top 10 Fortnite trading card of all time. And his laser, unfortunately, this one's a little off-centered, but if you get his laser perfectly centered, PSA 10 laser, there's not much that tops that in all the Fortnite cards, in my opinion, other than, some of the very best of the best. But yeah, so Rice, that's an awesome one. Said his nephew sold it to him. That's cool. Awesome pickup. Let's see. THG with a little, what is this, Minecraft card? Never really played Minecraft personally. Never really got into it, but cool looking card. I like the shine on it. He said he got it from my boy Dirty Dan, so that's awesome. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's see. Okay, Goopy / Chase cards. Got the Bullseye Crystal Shard PSA 9. We talked about Westrom earlier on in the stream. We said grateful Westrom didn't get involved in the bidding. Yeah, that's a gorgeous card there, Goopy. Because of one particular collector, our boy Westrom, he controls the majority of the population of Bullseyes. He has like 20 of them, and it's good to see somebody else get one. I'm just saying, no hate Westrom, but come on, share some of the love. But I'm just playing. But Bullseye is a gorgeous card. The pink, her card, her pose, a very aesthetically pleasing card for sure. She had some traction in game for a while. She's still probably getting some good usage. Definitely not what she was in her prime. I believe she came out in Chapter 1, Season, I want to say 8 or 9. I want to say 8. She has a bunch of edit styles, like 3 or 4 edit styles. I believe it's 3 total edits. She has her original, then she has 2 more. She has like a blue and pink one and like a green and blue one. So, a lot of edit styles for Bullseye. A lot of people love the skin, recognize the skin, know the skin in game, and she has a great looking card. So, definitely a lot of potential for this to be a very high end card in the future. So, Goopy / Chase cards, once again, some amazing pickups. All right, let's see what we got next. Okay, Jamie Toaster. Calamity Crystal Shard PSA 9. Did he say $76? eBay wins, so I'm assuming that was an auction. Okay, that is crazy. What a time to be a Fortnite card buyer and collector, where you can pick up a Calamity Crystal Shard PSA 9 for $76. I remember when this card would have been something. Yeah. Calamity is a very good card. Chapter 1, Season 6. We know a very iconic skin for a variety of reasons. One, because it's really cool looking skin, really good design, a whole bunch of edit styles, and when Chapter 1 Season 6 dropped, there was you were looking at that? Yeah, I know. That's a crazy steal for $76, the Calamity. But yeah, PSA 9, that's a Crystal Shard, legendary Crystal Shard in PSA 9 condition for $76. I remember when this would have been $400 or $500 easy for sure, at least $350 at the very low end. Even when I first joined this, I've been in this for a little bit over 3 years now. But yeah, Calamity Crystal Shard PSA 9. I'm just shocked. You guys know I'm a big Deadfire fan, so if another one of these pops up in that range, I may have to add a Calamity to complete the duo. That'd be pretty cool. I noticed. Okay, they did the full. Okay, they did the full for Calamity, but they didn't add any of the effect like they did for Deadfire. I always wondered why they didn't do that, but it's still a very good looking card, fantastic looking card, and Calamity is an awesome one. Still a skin that gets usage in game, and still a great looking card. Gotta love it. Oh, why are Brazil so cheap? Brazil cards are pretty cheap. One, because there's definitely a lot more of them compared to USA, obviously, and then Italy is the exact same shard pattern. So there's already more Italy and more Brazil than USA, and then it just doubles. So it's just the way it is, unfortunately. Eventually, when there's not going to be any USA print crystal shards on the market, people are going to have to settle for cards that are Brazil print, Italy print. And then when those are all gone, because those are still pretty scarce for the amount of Fortnite card collectors that are out there, those are very scarce. So, eventually the cards, Brazil cards, Italy cards are going to elevate in price drastically, in my personal opinion, not investment advice. So they're cheap right now, but they probably won't be in the future. Again, don't take that as invest. Oh, wow, Jesper. Okay. Picking up a PSA 10 of my Grail. I believe I saw this sell at $430, which is a very strong sale. Now, Jesper, I believe you paid a very good price for this, but the last one did sell for under $300. So I had this on the watch list. I was thinking, I'm going to swoop in here and get a Moisty PSA 10 for under $300. That did not happen. I didn't need to double up on Moisty shards. So I'm glad another great collector like Jesper was able to go out and get a Moisty PSA 10 for $430, which I believe is a very strong price. I mean, it's a strong price for the market, but it's not overpaying. I definitely don't think it's overpaying. Anything cracked ice is a buy, 100%. I agree with that. Not investment advice on my end. If you guys wonder why I don't say not investment advice, it's so, I say, oh, that's a buy. That's going to make you money. You can't come back and sue me. So nothing on this channel is investment advice. This is for hobby purposes. But yeah, Moisty Merman Crystal Shard PSA 10. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous card. It looks great. I actually have one right here. So take a look at him. I got him in the orange slab mag. But Moisty Crystal Shard, the green on green with the orange. He's just a great looking card. Mine is personally a PSA 7. I paid more for this PSA 7 than the second to last PSA 10 comp. If that doesn't tell you anything, I don't know what will. I paid almost $300 for this card back in 2022, but I wouldn't change a thing. That card at the time was my grail, and I'd only seen one up until that point, and it was a PSA 10 up for $3,800. Buy it now. Then it eventually was taken down, and I believe, okay, I saw two. There was that PSA 10, then another PSA 10 that was auctioned, and it sold for like $2,200. So I didn't get it. And then when I had the opportunity to pick up a raw one for my boy Get Hype Cards, Jake, also shout out to Kari, he got me with the assist on that. I had to jump on it. So that's just the way it was back in the day when Crystal Shards didn't even, like, there was none coming up for auction. Like, there was a point in time where you didn't even see them for auction. Like, even when I first joined, you didn't even see these cards. And, it's just, I love to see the way the market's progressed, where so many people have been able to get access to these beautiful cards. And I just love to see the community grow. And Jesper's always picking up some awesome cards. So I'm glad to see him pick up a Moisty Merman. And, I always talk about how much I love Chapter 1, Season 4, which is the season Moisty Merman released, and how I think all the skins from Chapter 1, Season 4 are good plays, not investment advice. Moisty Merman is not one of those because he does not fit the theme of the season. Although he does fit the theme of Moisty Meyer. It is his POI. He was made after Moisty Meyer. So, anyone who dropped at Moisty Meyer, there's obviously no Moisty Meyer card, but there is Moisty Merman. So, you got to love a nice Moisty Merman. You got to, yeah. That's too good. We're giving Jesper all the reactions on that. Yeah, there you go. That's awesome. All right, who's next? See some good combos in here. Okay, Jammy Toaster is back at it with a $75 Dynamo Crystal Shard. Dynamo, one of the most heavily used skins of the past. All of Fortnite, honestly, ever since she came out. Ooh, when did she drop? Testing my knowledge here. I'm so mad I don't remember the season she dropped. But she is very prevalent and competitive, especially in late Chapter 1. Very prevalent, competitive. This was Mongrel's skin. Mongrel was one of the biggest streamers at the time. I personally was a big fan of his content. I really enjoyed watching Mongrel streams, after school. It's crazy to think that was it's too long ago. I'm not trying to get all nostalgic on you guys, but yeah, watching Mongrel streams, watching him use Dynamo and Whiteout in late Chapter 1, those were good times. And Dynamo stayed very popular into Chapter 2. And then in Chapter 3, she got a reskin in the Chapter 3 Season 4 Battle Pass that was very heavily used. And obviously, since it came out that late, it will never have a card by Panini, most likely. I doubt Panini's ever going to drop cards again. So people who like that card or Dynamo are going to have to settle for Dynamo cards. And she's a gorgeous card from Series 1. Her pose is awesome. I love her card. Her card looks great. She's also part of the male-female duo with her and Mass Fury, so that only makes her better and more valuable and more desirable, in my opinion. But yeah, Dynamo is a gorgeous card, and for $75, you can't pass up. I mean, that's a card you could argue is, $200. So, Jammy Toaster, gorgeous card. Congrats on that one. Let's see who we working with next. Okay, ATMKDWG82. We see another Leviathan Crystal Shard. 2 in 1 week is crazy. This one is a 9. We saw a 10 earlier from Chase Cards. And we got a pistol PSA 8. I love that pistol card. Really captures early Chapter 1 vibes, I feel like, before they changed the pistol design in Chapter 2. I mean, I know this was, still in Season X, but, who was picking up pistols back then? I feel like when you first started playing Fortnite, whatever it was, I picked it up in Season 2. If you joined, you kind of started out using the pistol. I feel like you pick up the pistol a little bit. I feel like a lot of beginners use it. I don't know. So to me, kind of brings back a lot of memories of when I first started playing, because I personally was like that, and a lot of people I know were like that. They picked up the pistol a lot back when they first started playing, so like early Chapter 1 days. And yeah, it has that design, very nostalgic card to me. Black Knight 2019 Panini Fortnite Series 1 base card, SGC 8.5. How much do you say for this? You say you like asking questions. Nah, it's fine, bro. I love the engagement, but I actually don't know. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Okay, Black Knight Hollow. Close enough. Black Knight. Well, here's a PSA 7 for $70, so I'd definitely say yours is worth more than that. Oh, we could also touch on this a little bit. Here, rent time. We'll figure out what your card is worth that you're asking about. Then we'll touch on that Black Knight PSA 10. There's a hollow 8 for a 350. That's not bad. Let's see. Okay, well, here's a BGS 9 that sold for 180. So I'd say yours is definitely a little bit lower than that. I mean, SGC 8.5, probably like 130. If you're talking about, yeah, did you say USA? If it's USA, okay. Well, here's a PSA 8. So there's probably a big jump between an 8 and a 9. So okay, maybe 120 was a little high. So 8.5, I'd say, is probably around the same price as a PSA 8. Yeah. I'd probably say it's probably about 45, $50. That 45 sale is crazy. That Tfue auto. It's pretty cool. But we can touch on this a little bit. Jeez. Okay. All right, here we go. I believe this is Eduardo. $17,271. 31 bids for a Black Knight Crystal Shard PSA 10 in 2025. I don't mind it. I think it's a strong sale. I think the last one sold for around this. Definitely was under 20. So, at the time, at one point this was supposedly valued at like 55K. At one point, a hollow 10 did sell for like 50K, which is crazy. That was before I joined. That was a long, long time ago. But at one time, a BK hollow 10 was selling for $50,000. One did sell for 50K back in the day. So it's crazy to see where this is at now. But for where we are at in the market, I don't think that's a weak number at all. That's still $17,000, almost 1/5 of $100,000 that someone shelled out for a picture of a Fortnite skin. So we are clearly in a perfectly fine spot in the market. Sure, prices are low compared to what we were used to, but that's still no small amount of money. Oh, I'm an idiot. I just realized I haven't been displaying the eBay. So I've been talking about. I'm so stupid. Hold on. I've been talking about this for like the past 5 minutes without even displaying it. I thought I was. I don't know why StreamYard did me like that, but I thought I was displaying the Black Knight. Is it fixed now? I don't even know. Hold on. I don't even know if it's fixed yet or not. Okay, but I've been talking about this Black Knight. I think it's up now. I've been talking about this Black Knight for way too long without it being displayed. I don't know why StreamYard did me like that. So, yeah, all that stuff I was saying about the Black Knight, I was talking about this. I don't know why StreamYard wouldn't display my other tabs, but it is what it is. Now back to the recent pickups. Okay, I'm still new to this, by the way, if you can't tell. See if we can get a Discord back up now. Go back to the recent pickups. Kind of went off on a. Okay, I think we should be. Hopefully, possibly, maybe. I don't know. Okay, the recent pickups are back up on the screen. This was ATMK DWG 82. I talked about how nostalgic that pistol card was, and we saw Leviathan earlier, so I talked a bunch about Leviathan already. But these are two fantastic cards to you, ATMK DWG 82. Two awesome crystal shards. Love to see it. Let's see what we got next. Crewman. Okay, that's a big card. Peely, Crystal Shard, Italy, PSA 10. Wow. First of all, those cards are not easy to get. I love the yellow on yellow of Peely. Also, the Italy Crystal Shard design, same as Brazil, they really do look great. They really are great looking cards. I mean, there's no card on the market anywhere that has that same design. The only cards that have this cracked ice pattern is Panini Fortnite Trading Cards Series 1. Like this pattern is so unique. The Series 1 USA Print Crystal Shard pattern is used on other sports cards by Panini, if you guys didn't know that. That same pattern is used on other sports cards. Like 2024 Donruss Jamal Charles autograph card. In the background, it had the same cracked ice pattern. For some of the Panini Father's Day packs, they use the Series 1 cracked ice pattern. This Italy and Brazil cracked ice pattern, you can only get in Series 1 International Crystal Shards. I just feel like no one ever talks about that. But you will never find this pattern on another card other than these. So that's got to mean something, right? At least to me it does. And, Italy is not an easy grade. We all know this. And to get a Peely, the second best Series 1, the second best Fortnite trading card of all time, in a PSA 10 Italy, it's gorgeous. Love to see it, bro. Peru, man, you're always doing it upright. So that's awesome. Let's see. There's me advertising my stream. Dark Bomber, Pop 10, Italy. I just talked about Italy. So would an Italy raw BK be worth 50 or should I pay less? I'd definitely pay less for an Italy. USA 50 is fine. I mean, unless you think it has a shot at getting a PSA 10, I'd take the risk at 50. But if it's not a guaranteed 10, or like you think, if it's not a good shot at a 10, I think try to work your way down off 50 a little bit. But 50 is still not an egregiously high number. It's still a decent number. So I think 50 is honestly not that bad. But if you get a little bit less, I'd go for it. So Dark Bomber, PSA 10, Italy Crystal Shard. That is a gorgeous card. Dark Bomber, purple on purple. Her pose is awesome. Everything about this card is gorgeous. PSA 10. So like I just talked about, Italy cards are not easy grades, and this is the only card you're ever going to find that cracked ice pattern on. So Sparkle Specialist has one of the best international PSA 10 collections I've ever seen, if not the best I've ever seen. He does it upright. Every week he's just posting more and more and more. Like, a lot of people would be lucky to get like one of the cards that he posts on a weekly basis. It's so crazy, the collection that this guy must have. I mean, that I know that he has just by the stuff he's posted. He just posts so much great cards week after week. It's awesome to see. He has a beautiful collection, and I just love to see people collecting like that. Also, his photography is on point. The black background, he makes the whole card shine. Sparkle Specialist, amazing pickup, amazing card. Just congratulations, bro. Let's see, do we have any more? Oh, we do. Of course, it's still Goopy / Chase cards with some more heat. Chopper, Crystal Shard, PSA 9. Chopper is she's a unique looking card. She's part of the duo, the biker duo, Backbone and Chopper in Series 1. So that'd be cool to complete. Also, Backbone's like yellow and she's red. So, red and yellow are a very good looking color combination. Kansas City Chiefs, although I'm a Patriots fan. But that'd be a cool duo to complete, have side by side. I definitely think Chopper's a little underrated. I mean, for as a card collecting standpoint, just because of the fact that you can complete that duo with her in Backbone. She has no love in game, unfortunately. I do think she had the potential to have some love in game, get a little bit of play in game, but unfortunately she doesn't. Yeah, Daniel Gonzalez said less. Yeah, yeah, Italy for 80. Yeah, it's definitely less. But yeah. Chopper, Crystal Shard, PSA 9, just really good looking card. Like I said, she had the potential to take off in game. Just unfortunately, she didn't. And I doubt a card like this would ever have a resurgence, but cool looking card. Awesome card, Goopy / Chase cards. You have so many nice Crystal Shards. And I believe that's it. So, let's see. Get some heat this week. I think my favorite pickup of the week will probably go to the was this Triceratops this week? Oh yeah, it was. Okay, so we started out here with the Ruby and the 8-ball, gorgeous cards. The Manic from THG, love to see Dylan picking up some stuff. Goopy / Chase cards, of course. I think I got to give it to the Leviathan as my favorite pickup of the week. Either the Leviathan or the Ripley. I'm going to give it to the Ripley. The Ripley Optichrome PSA 10 by Matthew Fair is my favorite pickup of the week. Gorgeous card. So yeah. I'm bad at pricing cards right now. For 250 is good for a 9.5. I mean, it's not like, okay, I feel like it's high compared to the current market, but it's not awful. I mean, it's not a bad price. It could be worth, like, I don't know if you get what I'm saying. It's like, it's not a bad price for what the card is, but based on what it's selling for, it's a little bit high, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So like for 250, you're still getting a very good card, but it's just you're overpaying, but it's still a really good card if you get what I'm saying. I don't know if I'm making sense there. We have Matthew Fair with the Ripley Optichrome Hollow. That's probably my favorite pickup of the week. So yeah, that's the recent pickups for this week. I still got good amount of people watching, so let's see what we can talk about. Let's find some stuff to talk about. Let's just scroll on eBay and find some stuff to talk about. Let's see what we can find on eBay. See what we can talk about. The Tfue autograph. I don't know. Here, yeah, you see Rentime, 150 for a PSA 9 Black Knight. Okay, is StreamYard still doing me wrong? They were. Okay, I gotta watch out for that from now on. What else talking about? I mentioned the Tfue auto. Then I talked about this Black Knight PSA 9 to show Rentime. Oh, Daniel Gonzalez about to post a pickup. You know what, Daniel? All right, you're about to post a pickup. We'll get Discord back up. We'll talk about some cards on eBay for a little bit. Then we'll show Daniel Gonzalez's pickup. See what else we got. We're just looking at Black Knight cards, I guess. Yeah, see, I mean, that's a hollow. Wow, Italy Shard? How that must have been. Is that thing beat up? Or that's crazy to see an Italy Shard for 105. Let's just go Panini Fortnite. See what people have been buying. What have people been buying? People are buying Perfect Shadow base cards. Okay, 45 for a Red Knight. That's not bad. That's a good deal right there. Oh, $12 shipping, still not bad. That's not Fortnite. People are buying Frosted Flurry bases. Okay. Interesting. Okay, I like the Dark Voyager PSA 7. 34 is definitely not bad for that. Raven Hollow. I believe that is our boy Black Ash Ketchum, if I'm not mistaken. PSA 9, Raven Hollow. Not bad at all. $3 first card ever printed, PSA 9. Okay. Ooh. Peely Hollow PSA 6 for 18. That's not bad at all. Here's a Black Knight base, PSA 7 for $70, USA print. Dark Vanguard Hollow for $426, PSA 6. Let's find something exciting. Not okay. This is actually, you're gonna say, why are you talking about? You said let's find something exciting. We're talking about Lil Whip reloaded cards. This is Lil Whip's only card, and Lil Whip is pretty iconic to Fortnite. Not bad. Lil Whip for $2.99. That's not a bad deal at all. All right, now we're gonna find something exciting. What is this? Prototype? It is a prototype. Nightlight prototype for $450. Strong price. Italy prototype, strong price. That's a good buy and a good sale. I feel like $450 is what that should be selling for and what that's worth. Very cool card. All right. 400. Someone hit the bin. It appears on a Red Nose Raider. Crystal Shard PSA 10. You were bidding on the PSA 7 Runtime. Yeah, I'm glad you dropped out on that because that 70 for a PSA 7 is a little high, I feel. But Red Nose Raider Crystal Shard PSA 10 for 400. Very good price for any PSA 10 Crystal Shard. Unfortunate that this is where the market has come, but it is where it is, and it's still $400 for a Fortnite card. Okay, here we go. Here's the Eduardo auctions. Okay, Dynamo Crystal Shard PSA 9 for $255. We saw Jamie Toaster get one for $75. So Jamie Toaster got a steal, and PSA 9 is still a steal at $255. Strops PSA 10 for $273, and the Dynamo PSA 9 sold for $255. This is good to see. You're going to say, what are you talking about? A PSA 10 selling for the same as a PSA 9? But Dynamo is so much better. Market correction is happening. Just because a Crystal Shard is a PSA 10 does not mean it should be selling for more than Dynamo. I mean, who is Strops? Nobody knows. Sure, she's part of the Heyman duo. I love Heyman, but no one else really does. I mean, okay, there's some other Heyman fans, but like, this is good to see. This is market correction. We're getting down to the dip, and then the cards that should be selling for more are selling for what they should. Like, the percent more than they should be at cards like this, or equal to ish. This card should honestly be less than this card, but at one point this card would double this card, unfortunately. It probably back in like 2020, this card would like 4x this card, unfortunately, just the way the market was. So I'm glad to see we're getting market correction. Jeez, there's the Moisty for 430. Little Mary Marauder, PSA 10 for 263. I think this is an absolute steal in my opinion. Mary Marauder is a very good card. From the promo set, like I always talk about, these promos in PSA 10s, these cards are not easy to get good grades on. You may think they are, but they're not, because they came in that little plastic thing. And people I say, oh, well, they're the highest print crystal shards, so they're not the most rare. Do they have hollows? Do they have base cards? No, they don't. This is their only card. So really, these are the rarest cards from Series 1, are these right here. So, 263 is very low. Also, Mary Marauder, there's Laser Beam, and he made Mary Marauder very popular. But Mary Marauder was very popular to begin with. I believe he was a Chapter 1, Season 1 skin. Very, very OG skin. So, And then this Drift Sale at 42.51. Gotta love seeing that. I say keep scrolling. We'll see his Royal Knight. All right, we'll keep scrolling then. Drift Crystal Shard PSA 10 for 4,200. That's a strong Drift Sale. You guys know I am a certified Drift hater, or I was at one point, because people were saying it was a top 3 card. I had to let people know I didn't agree with that. But Drift, that doesn't mean I don't think Drift is a very good card. He's still in my top 10. Drift is a very good card. That pink looks great. He has all those edit styles. Just a gorgeous card. Very important game. The whole Fox Clan thing is definitely going to get some more looks by Charlie Wen for future storyline stuff. So yeah, Drift Crystal Shard PSA 10 for 42. Very strong sale, something I love to see. We are still alive and healthy as a market. Talked about this Black Knight earlier. Well, Garrison Hollow. Interesting. Sludge Base. Nogops. Proto. USA? Hold on now. Who's out here listing USA Protos on eBay? That's crazy. Out here listing USA Protos on eBay. What a time. 2,200. Very strong price. That is a good buy. Also, we're talking about, I don't want to hear anyone say the market is dead or anything. It's low, but people are dropping that what is essentially a base card just with a clear logo. We're up. This is not a bad spot to be. Love to see that. A couple of brought base card sales. Interesting. Someone's buying those. Catalyst, Manic. That's low. Especially that Manic. Anyway, let's see. Let's keep on going. A couple of rock sales. I wonder if that's a old Dylan picking up some of his stuff. Jules PSA 10 Hollow for 50. I like that card. I like Jules. I'm a big fan of Jules. Well, that's a Shard Knock. Enforcer Italy Hollow for 750. That's more than I thought it'd sell for. You guys know I love Enforcer though. Oh, what a steal! Funk Ops for 50. That's a steal right there. Sold for best offer. Oh, it sold for best offer, did it, Daniel? I'll have to check out 130 point to see what it sold for. But yeah. Someone took my protos too. Gonna miss them. Oh man, Daniel. You had some sick prototypes, Daniel. So I know you're gonna miss those, but I'm sure you got a good price for them. Otherwise, you wouldn't have sold them. A couple of Bush Ranger Italy's. I'm a big fan of Bush Ranger. All right. Wow, 425 on the contract Giller. I don't know why it says Brazilian. That doesn't exist. But interesting. Aura BGS 9. Did someone hit the bin at 400? That'd be pretty strong sale if they did. Pretty cool. Gotta love Aura. Oh, here's I believe this is probably Matthew Fairs. Ripley Opti 10. The ace sold for $80. What? Man, I have a PSA 9 of that card. But 80 is crazy. I'm trying to think, what did I pay? So I bought that lot for $450 off Black Ash at the National. Visitor Ace Snow Squall. So that means I paid 75 for it and it got a 9. But Black Ash did me right. Ooh, a couple of Galaxy sales. 3 and 7. The 10 at 7 I feel like is a good price point. Let's see. Dark Vertex. Man Cake Laser PSA 9 at 25. I feel like that's a card. If the seller would have listed it at auction, it would have sold for more because Man Cake cards do not pop up very often. Oh, man. My Heyman PSA 9, I paid like 110 for. Anyways. Let's see. Nightlight Uncommon. Crystal Shard, $47. Ends in an hour. All right. Someone might be able to get a good deal on that. Taro for PSA. Speaking of that lot at the National with Black Ash, I almost bought a Taro along with those cards that I bought. Also, speaking of the National, the 2025 National is coming up in Chicago, Illinois, which is like an hour away from where I live. So I will be attending the Chicago 2025 National. So if you guys find me there and want to chat it up about Fortnite cards, feel free. You can walk up on me and say, hey, you're the Fortnite card guy. Yeah, we can talk Fortnite cards. Yeah, I will be at the National. The National's always a great show. So hope to see some of you guys there. I met Robin Dillon 2 years ago at the Chicago National. Why am I seeing Mello and Bird? Anyways. Okay, so Calamity PSA 8 for 171, but we see one of our friends in the Discord picks up one for 76 and a PSA 9. That's interesting. Hyperion PSA 7 Italy for 12. Valkyrie for 30, Italy 8. I was watching this. I could have bought this. I didn't, though. Disappointed in myself. There's the Dynamo. Crystal Shard Brazil. Tomato Head for 25. Seems low. Mancake hard pull, Daniel. Yes, Mancake is a hard pull. I have one cracked ice and one hollow of him. I mean, I didn't pull him, obviously, but his cards are hard to come by. Definitely not an easy one to find. Let's see, whole bunch of stuff sold here. Whoa, what was that Renegade Raider? We're not 175 for an SGC 9.5. That's a strong sale. That's good to see. Because those things really dipped down recently. Dark Bomber. Nice. 500 OBO. Axe of Champions. That's odd. I didn't know that they released that to the public. 2 Strong Italy PSA 10 sales. So, yeah, I mean, like we talked about with a Sparkle Specialist, we saw him post one of these today. Could have been the same one. Who knows? But for under $1,000 for that card, that's gorgeous. That's a good buy. Okay, we see where Goopy got these 2 bangers. Very good price points on both those. I'd say both those, honestly, in my opinion, are $500+ cards. So very good purchase. Archetype for $382. Jeez. Crazy. I can't believe something like this would sell for $382 and that Calamity PSA 8 sold for half this. Or $210 less. I don't get it. Arachne PSA 10 for $382. Peely Hollow PSA 10 for $750. Let's see. See if we can. What do we look like? Are we getting Kevin Porter Jr. cards? All right, I might end looking at eBay for a little bit. Okay, that's pretty funny. I have to point this out. Whew, I remember when a PSA 10 of this did like 2,100 back in the day. Crazy. That is absolutely insane. Crazy. I know Dirty Dan's gonna remember that. Oh, Promo Galaxy PSA 9 275. That's a not bad price at all. Agent Peely cracked ice for 2050. Seems low. I know it's Series 3, but come on, it's Peely. Show some love. All right. Holofoil Rex PSA 10. 200 buy now. It's a good sale, strong sale, not a bad price either though. Little Vendetta PSA 10 pop 3. I do own a Vendetta cracked ice SGC 9.5. I can't wait to crack it out of that SGC slab, that ugly black slab. That's a Shard Knock Life sale. So one of the best of all time to ever do it for Fortnite cards. Legend. I've had him on the channel at least twice now. Definitely twice, maybe more. Awesome collector, awesome dude. Shout out to you, Shardnock. But yeah, Vendetta. I do own a Vendetta. I like Vendetta a lot. Personal wise, like eye appeal wise, not for investment purposes at all. Don't buy Vendetta if you want to make money. Oh, that's a low one. If I would have saw that, I would have bought that. 110 for the PSA 9. I'm just looking at Brazil 8 BK right now. See what oh, never mind. That's the guy who keeps relisting, and I was like, that's crazy. But that guy keeps relisting that card because he's a bum. Chaos Agent, cracked ice USA for $100. Buy it now. Hold on, let's check. I want to check the condition on this bad boy. Oh, that thing is clean too, man. Someone's gonna get a dime on that too. That's crazy. All right. Oh, I went one too far. Okay, why did it do that? I'm still getting used to this whole computer thing. You guys can't tell. Okay, I don't know why it's doing that. We're just gonna look at this page. We're gonna skip page 6 for some reason because my computer's weird. I don't know how to work it still. And this page is very boring, filled with series. Okay. Why is this $2? Why is the Sky cracked ice from the promo set $2? It pains me. It really does pain me. Vendetta PSA 9 for $12.50. Crazy. Enforcer bases are selling for $5.50. The market is up. Now, who's slabbing this up is my question. Who's slabbing up the Dazzle base out here? Who's out here grading Dazzle base cards? Or who's out here grading RJ Barrett base cards? Skull Trooper base PSA 9 for $20. Whoa. It's not bad, actually. It's a good price. Fish Sticks 8 for $5. Not bad either. Here, we'll go back to page 6, see what we missed. See if we missed any bangers. That's the banger we missed. Aeronaut Opti for $4. Okay, so a raw one of this sold for 56, and a 10 does 225. So a 4x difference still. It seems like we're still sitting around that range from raw to PSA 10, 4x. Honestly, reasonable. I think Redline's card is so cool looking. It's so unique. I talked about Chopper and how she's part of the biker set. Redline does not technically belong to that biker set, but you could complete that trio and look really good and look awesome. But although she's not technically part of the set by in-game terms, she fits the theme. So Redline's really cool. Redline, Backbone, Chopper. Redline's not part of the set. Really cool looking card. That Dark Maroon's unique. Her pose is awesome. Chapter 1, Season 5 Battle Pass. Very good card. For 113, not bad at all. A little Fate for 113.50. No, the reason why I laughed is I remember it was a Taking High Ground stream, and there was 3 crystal shards up for auction. It was Deadfire, Fate, and one more. And I remember Dylan was like trying to keep it on the low that he was watching that Fate. And I typed in the chat, I was like, Dylan's trying to keep that Fate a secret, like it doesn't have 56 watchers. At the time, I remember that got robbed pretty good, but good times. Like, why are we seeing Brett Favre Blue Eyes Prisms? Oh man, that is $100. That's a good sale right there. Angular X, you barely ever see these cards pop up. Like Angular X, I don't even know how many I've ever even seen pop up. Definitely under 5. So Angular X is really cool. Ren about to buy all these up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Daniel. Ren's out here. He's out making moves in this market. Angular X though, that's a good sale. I think 100 is a strong price point for that, and that's a card you don't see very often. So I like that sale. That's a good one. Pump Shotgun PSA 10 for 250. That yellow, that gold. I love the Pump Shotgun. It looks like, if it was just a little darker orange in the background, if it was a little more orange, that would be what it would look like when you had it in your inventory. Although it's not the Spaz look and they didn't have the gold pump with that design. You guys get what I'm saying, though. Oh, this is where Dylan picked that up, most definitely. Steal. Peely 10 for 100? Man, I got one of those. Dyer Hollow 10 for 200. Zion rookies hoops are selling for $15. I think that's the most egregious thing I've seen all day. Maybe all week. It's only Monday, but maybe all year. That's the worst thing I've seen all year, maybe. All right. No, okay. All these sold for less than what they're. Oh man, that is low for Cloak Star. Almost like a black cracked ice. His background, the background black cracked ice. Very good looking card. Cloak Star is awesome. Not one I wouldn't mind checking off the list at some point. $89 for a PSA 10 Crystal Shard. I know it's Axe Accordion, and you're gonna say, why? You're gonna wonder what I'm about to say. Like, why am I saying this? But I like to see this sale. This is a sale I like to see. Saying, why do you like to see 100 and under $100 PSA 10 Crystal Shard sale? Because it's Axe Accordion. If it was Dynamo, yeah, I'd be fuming. But it's Axe Accordion, so it's not bad. This is like what it should sell for because it's Axe Accordion. And, as other cards start to rise, like we saw, what was a PSA 10 shard that we looked at? We saw the Straw Ops sell for $270. So basically $200 more. I see no issue with that. So as that Straw Ops rises, it'll bring this card up with it, and it'll stay farther apart like they should be. They shouldn't be closer together at all. Eternal, that is low, in my opinion. Even though it's a 9, that's still pretty low. A whole promo set's $8. Oh, no, it's a complete year set. Never mind. The whole thing would have been $8. I might have lost it. Okay, we already looked at this one. I want a chance at having a museum collection. Awesome goal right there, Runtime. You got it, bro. You're only 15, bro. You're right here. When I was 16 before I started the channel, 17 after I started it. Like before I started the channel was in my because the national happened. So like the first year I had the channel up until then is when I was really in my heyday of picking up cards. And, kind of moved away from that as I became an adult. So you're going to experience that too, Runtime. So while you can, pick these cards up, man. Do it. Pick them up while you can, while you don't have to worry about other things. So pick them up while you have the chance. That was the one thing I'm glad that I did is while I had the opportunity, I sure ran with the opportunity that I had to spend all my money on Fortnite cards, which is pretty funny to think about because, like, I'm into my collection for like $7K and it's worth like $4, but it is what it is. Bright Bomber PSA 10 for $2,500. Love to see something like that. That was almost a month ago already, 3 weeks ago. Still a strong sale no matter what. And I feel like the market's on its way up. Although this sold for $712 and one before that we looked at sold for $382. So a 50% decline basically. Would not suggest an upward trend. But there's probably one person out there chasing that Arachne PSA 10. This one popped up, they bought it, and then that big seller that big buyer who had the huge demand for it was no longer in the pool to buy one. So that's why the price decreased so much. That's definitely what happened. But it's still a good-looking card. And unfortunately, the others, just like this one we saw sell for a lot cheaper more recently. I believe it also sold for like $380. But $600 for an archetype, yeah, pretty steep. $304 for Ruckus PSA 10. I own a Ruckus PSA 6. Ruckus was very prevalent in the Fortnite comics and in Chapter 2, Season 6. He was a very difficult boss in that warehouse next to Hydro 16, the little dam on the Chapter 2 map. So, I'm happy I own a Ruckus Crystal Shard because he takes me back to that Chapter 2, Season 6 time when he was in the comics. He was on the map. And Chapter 2, Season 6 was, a horrible season. For some reason, I have fond memories from it. Little Elmira for 338 PSA 10, not a bad price at all. You get a what's his name? Oh man, Caster and Elmira, the wizard and witch duo from Series 1. Put those together, that'd be a cool one. Little Plague PSA 10 for 462. Deadfire PSA 10 hollow. All right. Rustlord PSA 9. Let's find one more good pickup to talk about. One more good eBay sale to talk about, and then we'll see Dirty Dan's pickup and probably wrap up the stream there. Been doing this for an hour now. And that Midas Opti, Midas Hollow 10 for whatever that was, under 290. Not a bad sale. We're looking for one last cool pickup. One last cool sale. This one, we're going to keep going. 2019 Panini Fortnite Italy Crystal Shard Skull Trooper PSA 10 for 322. Not a bad price. One of the last Fortnite cards I ever bought, maybe the last one I bought, was a Skull Trooper Italy Crystal Shard. It was PSA 7, though. I got it for a very good price. Very happy to own that one. We'll find one more really nice Crystal Shard sale. Talk about that and see Dirty Dan's pickup in Discord. Okay, I said nice Crystal Shard, not Radiant Striker. Some Renegades. Moisty Hollow 9 for $19. Okay, so we'll talk about whoa. We're talking about this. Good thing I kept scrolling. Oh my. The Bear set and an Ice King. Okay. We're gonna talk about these 5 and then wrap this up after talk about Dirty Dan's pickup. But Ice King PSA 10. Oh, geez, that's low. PSA 10 USA print for $300 basically. That is low. I wish that sold for a lot more. I wish I almost bought that. Wow, that is low. It is low, but very good card. Whoever bought that, I'm happy for you. Then we got the Bears. The Bear set. Cuddle Team Leader, PSA 10 does $1,800. Understandable. That's a very strong sale. That's one that, although it's a month old, basically this market, very strong sale, one I'm happy to see. Fireworks Team Leader catching 338. Panda catching 432. And that's odd that Panda and Spooky are at the same price point. I definitely say Panda Team Leader is a much better card. Definitely not a very high-end card, but definitely better than Spooky Team Leader in my personal opinion. But yeah, these are Fireworks, definitely the worst out of them. But that's cool to see all 4 of them listed at once and sold at once. But yeah, let's see Dirty Dan's pickup. I'm going to pull up Dirty Dan's pickup and then probably wrap this stream up. The Discord, taking high ground, recent pickups. Dirty Dan Rips. Let's see what you're working with here. Okay, Stage Slayer. My bad for getting all close and squinting. I'm blind. Okay, so Stage Slayer, Pump Shotgun, Fish Sticks, and Mass Fury. Oh, I've not been keeping up with chat. Cards are budget with expenses. I have a car. Okay. You see, that's the one thing I had going for me when I was in my heyday of buying. I was 17 without a car. I was walking everywhere. Pretty funny. Just put on screen. Oh, my bad. Daniel, like I said, this has been an issue all stream. I've been trying to get this right all stream. StreamYard has not been doing me right. I'll hit to add it to the stage is what it's called on StreamYard, but I have to press it twice, and I keep thinking I don't. I keep forgetting I have to press it twice. So I did mean to put it on screen. Thank you, Runtime, for telling me it's not on screen. I realized that after the fact. But thank you all for letting me know that. But yeah, so Daniel, he's got the Stage Slayer, the Pump, the Fish Sticks, and the Mass Fury. SGC 10s, all in Italy print. There's a certain appeal with Series 1 base cards, in my opinion, certain aesthetic and appeal to them, which is the solid color and the skin. Also with the SGC holder, I just want to say, like, especially that fish in the pump with the yellow and the orange, almost like a vintage baseball card aesthetic. Like, there's that Babe Ruth card that has 4 different color variations. It has like red, green, like 2 other colors. And I don't know, it just reminds me of that. The solid color background with just the skin. Like I said, it has that vintage baseball card aesthetic to me. And I really like the appeal of just graded 10 base cards from Series 1. Because, like, I don't know. Also, sometimes the crystal shard can take away from the skin. I don't know if anyone ever feels that the crystal shard pattern may take away from the actual design of the skin. Some people may feel that in the future and, want to get hollows and base cards instead. And they're obviously going to want PSA 10s of those because they're not crystal shards. So, yeah, Daniel, I really like those pickups. I really like the way they look. Great looking cards. Rentime. Ooh, SGC. I feel like Rentime is a big SGC fan right there. But I was just catching up on chat. My bad for going silent for a second. But yeah, those are 4 great cards. I mean, Fish Sticks and Pump are great cards no matter what they're in, especially PSA 10s. And Italy base are not going to be easy to grade. There's not going to be a lot of people grading these, so they're definitely going to be low population. So, I mean, you probably got these are probably pop 1 on SGC. I don't know how to check population on SGC. If I did, I would. But, yeah, those are great cards, Daniel. And I'm glad you sent those in and I could talk about them real quick. Let's see. Oh, he's not. Okay, he's not done. Bunch of hollows. Let's see. Is that Sass Sergeant, Riot, Mayhem, Sunflower, Codename Elf, Hyperion, Chopper. Ooh, that one's gonna. I know that's Redline. Ooh, because I can't read it. I can't read the label from how far away I am. Can I get the name? I can't. Can I? First Strike Specialist. Okay. All hollows. All good. I mean, Sass Sergeant is Jonesy. So is Riot. So those are automatically good cards because they're Jonesy. Mayhem is the female counterpart to Ruckus. Sunflower came with the Sunsprout back bling, so she's cool because of that. Lachlan skin right here, also a Jonesy skin. Hyperion goes with Dazzle, so a duo there. Chopper, like I talked about, goes with Backbone. First Strike Specialist is a Jonesy, so he's cool. And Redline, we talked about earlier as well, is a really good looking card. Her background is unique, and she also kind of fits in the theme with Chopper, although she's not part of the set. So Daniel, those are awesome pickups right there. He's not done with the SGC. Okay, so he's got the Hollow Master to go with the Italy base 10. That's a cool looking. It's probably awesome side by side. Nice little Plague. Suntan Specialist and Fireworks Team Leader. Fireworks Team Leader, part of that 4 bear set like we just looked at on eBay. Suntan Specialist I really like because he's part of that trailer in Chapter 1, Season 6 with Skull Trooper where Loot Lake floated up. Very cool trailer, one of the most iconic of all time. And unfortunately, they did not include the female counterpart of Plague, which is Scourge, in Series 1. She is in Reloaded for some reason and not in Series 1. But that skin is definitely much better than Plague and definitely way more desirable and way more cool looking. And Tfue also used her. So, Plague is going to have to be anyone who likes Scourge. Is going to have to resort to Plague if they want anything from Series 1 that resembles their skin. So, Plague is cool for that aspect. But that is the pickups from the Taking High Ground Discord, along with a bunch of other sales off eBay. Thank you all for watching. Daniel Gonzalez, Rentime, and the Card Baron were the main people that were stopping in chat. Daniel, thanks. Thank you. You're welcome, and thank you. Rentime, thank you for stopping by, and the Card Baron as well. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for sending in pickups, and of course, thank you to Taking High Ground for allowing me to do this. I will see you guys next time.